Hope everyone is having a good weekend. We got really a great session this morning. Hopefully you are where you can focus and have your notepad and all of that. And what we're going to be talking about toward the end today, events and those types of things. I don't have a lot of news on that yet, but just we'll have an update. But hey, today, what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to be going through kind of a building game plan, a recruiting game plan, and then actually what are the key parts of an interview, and what do you want to make sure that you build into that interview, kind of the recruiting process. So I think that's going to be very interesting, and so it'll be worth that. But also, kicking it off today, we've got two leaders, Dominic Papiro, of course, from the North Shore offices with the infamous Jim Hass and that team down there. But we've all been together a long time, and as a matter of fact, Jared Nelson had talked about that he one of Mike's guys told me that Dominic did a talk for them the other day and just really did an incredible job. Really meant a lot to him, Doug Lauderdale, and so we're gonna have that. Dominic's going to come on first, talking about we do what's right, and he has some examples. He'll go through that. And then Lawrence Lindsay, last week we had John Williams with Lincoln. And by the way, that's just an awesome product. And, John covered a lot of info, but I thought it'd be good to have somebody come back and just do kind of a Cliff Note version of an actual presentation, because it really doesn't take that long to get it across. And the market is just right for that product right now. So we're going to spend a few minutes on that. Lawrence Lindsay's going to do that, and then I'll do my part. And hour and 15 minutes, we'll be wrapped up. So hope you're ready to listen fast. We got a lot of material to cover, and then I've got a few announcements at the end that we'll get to there. So, but I tell you what. First of all, let's go ahead. I'm gonna throw it to Dominic. Dominic, I appreciate you. You and Stephanie, man, y'all are special people. You're building, you've got good things happening in your hierarchy, with Navarro down in Sarasota, and Chris Taluli and his team out in Texas, and they're in Medgar. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Thanks again, Dave, and appreciate the opportunity. We love and appreciate you and Jill. But I'm going to talk about, the Crusade. Okay. When I got in this business, can y'all see that thumbs up, Lawrence?
Yeah, you're
okay.
Good.
All right, no problem. When I got in this business, man, I bought into Crusade. And I think, the bottom line is if you don't buy into the Crusade and what we do for people, I'd love to say I've been here 32 years and every month we just grew. Well, that just is not the case. And if you don't buy into something bigger than just the money, you're not going to make it here long term. Right. So let's talk about the Crusade, because Art Williams, I'll never forget, man, this is 1990. I'm at a meeting, right? And Art Williams says, until you've delivered a death claim, until one of your clients become totally debt free, until one of your clients becomes a multimillionaire, until you recruit somebody and they go on to change their family tree and be an RVP, you have no clue what you do for people. And that's so true, right? I mean, until that happens to you, it's still kind of hypothetical, right? So I bought into that. And so let's talk about it. I got 15 minutes. I'm a rock and roll here. I'll email everything to Dave. What is a crusade? Webster's dictionary defines it as a vigorous, concerted movement for a cause or against an abuse. Folks, like it or not, 44 years later, right? The life insurance industry still sells trash value insurance. And you got Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, Consumer, everybody say, term dot, select quote, you name it, and they still sell us crap, right? So let's talk. So this is a crusade. It is what it is, right? Why we're different. This hit me so early on, right? And I know a lot of people know this, the theory of decreasing responsibility. In the early years, you need a lot of coverage. Why? You got young children, debt and a mortgage. And when you got young children, debt and a mortgage, you're just getting started. Most young couples don't have a lot of cash. So that's when they need the artificial money just in case, so that family that they leave behind can keep on keeping on. But you got to invest for your future. And Lawrence is going to hit on that. It ain't buy term and hope your clients die, or buy term and blow the difference. It's buy term and invest the difference. All right. So by separating those two, giving them the proper coverage by doing a financial needs analysis, not just saying how much can you afford. Okay. We're not the industry. You know, I've been doing this 32 years. I've never delivered a death claim and people say, whoa, this is too much, right? Okay. It's sad to say that I've delivered a few death claims I know wasn't enough. Okay. Right. But in the later years, you better have money. We show them how to get financially free, you know, and it may not be MTV cribs, but at some point in your life, go to work because you want to, not because you have to, because you've accumulated wealth. And once you got the money, the real income replacement called cash, and the kids are growing, lower debt, mortgages paid, then guess what you may not need? Now you can keep our insurance, but at that point, it's a want versus a need, right? You become self-insured. The only person that tells you need life insurance for life is a person that sells trash value insurance because they make commissions for life, folks. Consumer Reports, man, I don't even know if y'all remember this, right? 1993, time to think about life insurance. Primerica, the king of term. I mean, daggone. I mean, I didn't make this up, right? I found out. I was like, man, this is unbelievable. For more than 50 years, Consumer Reports recommended most people buy term, right? You know, Ron White says, you know, you can't fix stupid. They got some other people that buy other stuff, right? All right. It's a fact that all life insurance is term life insurance. Anything added to term insurance is good for the agent, good for the company, but bad for the consumer. Always remember to purchase pure term life insurance, which is term insurance. We're the only company that sells 100% term 100% of the time. Bottom line, man, you know, I don't care if you can find it for $7 a month cheaper. When you understand the features and benefits of what we do, and we're not going to come back and convert you, dadgummit, man. Look, if somebody's barking at you on $7, they found it cheaper, you're not bringing value to the table, and you got to get your skills better, and you got to know your product better. Okay. 41-year-old husband and father of 2 children. I'm going to zoom through this because I got to get to some real meat and potatoes. You know, issue date, January 2001, date of death, 2002, heart attack. We replaced 200 with 440. Okay. 30-year-old father, February of 99, date of death, 3 years later, motorbike accident, had 300. We delivered 600. That's a big damn deal, right? 38-year-old husband, father of 2 children, 6 and 8. Issued in 2002, drowning, had 158,072. We delivered 315. When you look at this stuff right here, right? Replacements, right? This guy had 100,000. We replaced it with 200,000. He was paying 1213 a year. Now he's paying 320 a year. 75, we gave him 200, was paying 1254, 453. 100 to 100, apples to apples, 1200, we gave it to him for 251, 99, 100, 431, we gave him for 144, 145, 140, paying $6,000. That must have been a good trash value policy, paying 2306. All right. So let me shift gears here. New share. We'll see what we got here. All right. Let me get out of this, Dave. I apologize. Let me get out of that. Sorry about that. Get back to it. Let's talk about the quiet company, man. I mean, let me tell you something. This company don't make me get quiet. It fires my butt up, right? Anybody ever heard of this company, right? All right. Well, this is a policy I replaced. A good friend of mine. He's an attorney. Whole life insurance, eligible for annual dividends. We know what that is. Partial refund of an overcharge of premium, which is not guaranteed. Really, giving you a little of your overpayment back and calling it a dividend. It was in 2008, 36-year-old male, had $1 million of whole life insurance, had $4 million a 10-year term rider, so a total of $5 million. 36-year-old, okay? Watch this. I put that upside down. They so goofy, right? Check this out, right? He was paying $3,111 a month or $35,000 a year for the next 54 years, right? Okay. But look, you think if you're paying $3,100 a month, 36-year-old, this guy, and I'm gonna show you, he was preferred with us, right? We replaced his garbage, right? All right. His first year, cash value. If you're paying $35,000 a year, at least give me $1. Zero, right? At age 70, this dude's got $553,000. But no problem. His wife, all right. So, and look, you want to borrow your own money? No problem. We'll give it to you at 8%, right? All right. So he had a wife, right? She was 39. They call her a cougar. No, I'm joking. All right. She had $1 million of whole life. No problem, right? She preferred too. I'm going to show you what we replaced. Oh, she was paying $1,276 a month, right? 51 years is good. Well, let's see, man. This cash value. Oh, they didn't give her anything either. First year. And lo and behold, they had a 4-year-old son. Okay. Now understand, this guy's an attorney, went to law school, went to college on a soccer scholarship, right? Well, he's got a 4-year-old son. No problem. He put $500,000 a whole life on his son for only $247 a month or $28.40 a year, right? And they these are the guys that act professional. It's legal thievery. They're doing it with a pen, not with a gun. All right. Oh, look, at least give him $1. No, Junior ain't making it, right? They sold him this as a savings plan for college. So he was 14. Let's assume he's going to college at 18. So in 14 years, he's got $27,850 to go to college. You can't pay for the books, right? And lo and behold, the kid wants to borrow his own money, 8%. So let me show you what he's got now. All right. Hold on a second. All right. In force. Okay. He's got 8.2 million with us, 1.2 million. The IBR, we started out at 8 million and maxed out the IBR, 25 on the child. He's paying $1,242 a month. And that's 30-year level term that we wrote in 2010, preferred. Okay. So let's see, new share. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. See if I can get in here and get the new share. Can y'all see that now?
Yeah.
All right. So we invested the difference. Okay. All right. We did a 1035 exchange and we carried over his huge loss. He like 2 years later, I think he had like 14,000. He paid like 72 grand in premium. So we carried that over, 1035 exchange to VA, carried over the losses, right? But lo and behold, he's 49 now. And his investment accounts with us are at $942,969 as of May 21st. Okay. He likes us. The executive director of Northwestern Mutual came to his office and said, you don't know what you're doing. He came to his law office. So you don't know what you're doing. They hire like UPS supervisors that are idiots. I'm like, damn, that was me. Right. Okay. They'll hire truckers. They'll hire this, that, and other. He goes, man. And this guy asked him, let me ask you something. My client, my buddy, right, says, well, what do you own on your own life? This is the executive director of Northwestern Mutual, Metairie, Louisiana. He says, well, man, I own term. You think he should have kept lying, right? He says, but this is a good tax shelter because, you make 100 grand a month. So this is a great tax shelter. He escorted him out the office and this company loves Primerica. Okay. That's what this thing's about. Right? Don't think because they got nice ads and they walk around and talk down to you that if you're part-time, you can't light them up. All right. Can y'all see the Guardian? Thumbs up.
Yeah, we said.
All right. All term is not created equal. Right. I tried to get an appointment with this person 5 years ago. She's a mortgage broker right across the street from my subdivision. And she was in my little networking group. She wouldn't give me an appointment. I recruited a guy who knew him and we got in the door. All right. Now let's look at this, right? If people are going by price and you just throwing out a price of what you're paying, most agents wouldn't even inquired, right? 750,000 with the Guardian, right? 32-year-old female, term life, elite premium class. I guess that would be like our preferred plus, right? Now check this out. She's paying $360 a year, 750 grand. You got to say that's a good deal, right? Well, the problem is she didn't know in year 21, it goes to $7 grand a year and starts going out of sight. Okay. All right. So the husband, $750. He was not elite. He was a little heifer, right? Non-smoker. No problem. He was paying $930 a year. On the 21st year, it goes to 18 grand. This couple was 32 years old. They needed a 30-year level term, right? Let me show you what we did for them. Basically, what happened was I put a 30-year level term. I put $1.5 million on her, $1 million on him, blew them away. I mean, it was in awe. But guess what? If I was competing against that 20-year price, right, and not talking price versus cost, I would have surrendered. But guess what? They're clients today. They're investing with us. She was blown away, and a friend sold it to her, right? But guess what? Since I did business with her, she's in the mortgage business. I know we're getting in the mortgage business. I've sent over $1.5 million in refinance and new purchase money clients to her. You think she likes me, right? But you know what? It's a law of reciprocity, right? Okay. All right. Let's get into, geez, I got 1 minute, Dave. All right. Let me rock and roll with this. All right. Can y'all see this picture?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. This is a gentleman, a part-timer of mine, and I'm accelerating. I'm not Lloyd, Dave. Look, a part-timer of mine sits down with this lady in 2012. And this part-timer's made 5-6 sales in her career. She had $50,000 of cash value insurance. My part-timer talks to her. We do an F&A. She needs $850,000, okay? We do it. July 2019, I get a call from her daughter. She got murdered. They owned a convenience store in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and 2 guys walked in and for $400 murdered, okay? This is her husband. I delivered the death claim to this gentleman, all right? Watch this. When I got there, they had a shrine of his wife. He was married 41 years. Let me show you what we delivered, baby. 850 grand. 248.24 was what they were paying a month in premium. Okay, so we refunded that. That was 9/21/2019. All right, let me get out. Let me do a new share. I'm wrapping this up. All right, this is gonna be good. I promise you. Get out of here. Got 2 more and I'll be done, Dave. This is another client of mine. I don't know if you see this, right? Saw this on Facebook. It's another part-timer. I've been hesitating to make this post. Yes, I lost my heart, my love, my everything. My jewels passed away. Please pray for our family and friends. I appeal to anyone who is depressed, anxiety, anxious, or just feeling sad. Please talk to someone. I'm completely lost right now. Please pray for peace for our family and friends. 35 years with Chevron, 53 years old, committed suicide, okay? Let me show you what we delivered to her. They had 0 insurance, and a part-timer brought me to them. $425,000, okay? That's Primerica. And I'm gonna leave you with the latest and greatest. And I don't say this being funny, but this is what we do for people. Oh, shoot. Last but not least, okay? Man, let me tell you, this hits home, right? May 3rd of this year, the guy on the left is a very successful jeweler. They full service clients of mine. His wife was part-time with me in 2007. She probably made this many sales in her career. She was one of the persons that brought me to the previous $425,000 we delivered, right? This is on May 3rd, 2021 on Facebook. Stephanie lets me know. She goes, man, you hear Jose? Jose's on the left, Johnny's on the right. Through family is heartbroken. We're confident in knowing that your kind, gentle soul is in a better place. I will always love you, brother. So I text Jose and go, listen, I think Johnny may have been a client. Stephanie already checked. He was a client, okay? I said, have his wife reach out to me. You ready for this? This is May 3rd. Now watch, this is Primerica at its best. She calls me May 4th and goes, Dominic, this is Kimberly Valley, right? Jose asked me to call. I know we didn't have anything with Primerica, but I was just doing what he said. I said, Kim, are you sitting down? I said, number one, we're praying for you. I can't even imagine, right? I said, I'm looking at a sheet right now, and he was paying $61 a month, and that policy's still in force. And you're the beneficiary. She loses it, right? Now check this out. May 3rd is when this guy passed away. What's the date? What's the date of that check? May 15th, I delivered a $214,895. All right. Let me tell you something. She called me. I went and delivered it Thursday, and I drove to Picayune, Mississippi. Right. She texted me, said, would you meet me at my mom and dad's house? He died at 56 years old of a cardiac arrest. All right. She said, would you meet me at my mom and dad's house? I said, sure. She goes, I'm going there for dinner. Right. So I go there, man, because she wanted to meet me in Mandeville. She said, man, that's far. I said, no. I deliver my claims. I want to look you in the eyes. And it's not just to invest the money, to know, man, we're a real company. This is about, this ain't just send you a deal. And let me tell you something. I would tell you this. If a client calls you and somebody passed away, you call in that claim, you jump online, you email them the claim form, you have them get that sucker ready. This is the fastest I ever had anybody get a certified death certificate. That's how fast we got this check. Okay. All right. I called the Tuesday morning and said, hey, look, I called. They got the paperwork Monday. It's approved. They mailing out the check. I'll probably get it next week. I'll call you. I get to my Metairie office. There's an overnight packet. It's from Primary. I got her check. So I meet her dad. Her dad walks me so I spent some time with him, right? And just talked to him. I said, look, if there's any, I don't know, if you got anything left on your house or whatever, but if you want to invest this money, please give me the opportunity to at least help you invest some of it. I do not want you to see go to the bank and them take advantage of it. But normally I do the Eagle Estate account, but she wanted to check, whatever, no problem. Make a long story short, her dad walks me out, 74 years old. He taps on my window. I had great conversation, shook his hand, hugged her, tell him we praying for him, right? And he taps on my window, 74 years old, I'm in a driveway. He says, listen, man, I knew you're a man of faith. Man, I'm sitting here, man, I'm about to get emotional, right? He goes, you don't understand what you did for my daughter. I know we can't replace her husband, but she didn't even know how she was going to pay for the funeral. I had her have the funeral home call me, gave them the claim number. They asked if the because obviously if you look right here, this is the assignment amount. It was $225, 10,104 was sent to the funeral home, $214,895, right? And I'm going to end with this. And this guy tells me, he goes, look, you just don't understand. He goes, I know you're a man of faith, and I'm in awe that you came to our house. You changed my daughter's life financially, and I understand, she's going to mourn. So that's what I got, Dave.
Wow. Hey, Dominic, man, good Lord. Wow. What a great message. And, I've seen that over and over and over again. And, we do what's right. And like you said, we're the only company that's doing what we do, 100% term. And wow. So Dominic, thank you for jumping on this morning and sharing that. Dominic and I had talked earlier this week, and he kind of shared just one of those examples. And I said, man, would you mind doing that this morning? So, looking at the income protection segment, okay, I want to jump though now to Lawrence Lindsay Jr. And I want Lawrence to talk about the investment side and, the Lincoln product that we talked about last week with John Williams. So Lawrence, I appreciate you guys jumping on. So he's going to go over that, and then I'm going to jump into my part. So like I said, it's going to be a great morning. So Lawrence, I'll turn it over to you. Appreciate it.
Man, appreciate it, Dave. And hey, Dom, amazing presentation, brother. God bless you. We love the Crusade. And then once you get this far and you see those differences made, you'll never quit. You can't quit. You see what we're doing for people. We make the difference, and we are always the most important financial person anybody will ever meet. You have to own it and believe it and get your skill set up on your products. All right. Now let's play right off that, guys. David wanted me to go over this Lincoln Level B for you. I know you saw John. John is great at what he does. We talk daily. I love the product, especially where we are right now. Now let's talk about the public. When we're talking about people 45 to 75 that has money in the open market right now that is movable, and there's in-service withdrawals available on 401ks, partial or wholes right now. Everybody is nervous about the market. All right. But what people do not like about annuities, and you need to understand this, there's a bad taste in most people's mouth about annuities because of past annuities. because the beginning annuities 20 years ago didn't work properly, right? All right, they're worried about the time, the length of time. Most are 10 or more, right? This is a 6-year, okay? So 6 instead of 10, powerful, powerful note, right? All right, the next thing they're worried about is penalties, okay? These penalties start out lower than anybody, and they're only going in 6. And they allow 10% a year free. Write that down, that's huge. All right, it's a 6-year product that allows you to get 10% free, no questions asked, no penalties. All right, third thing they don't like about annuities, they hate fees, okay? They hate them with a passion. Guess what? Who loves the number 0? Everybody loves the number 0, right? So we're talking about a 6-year annuity, all right? It has no fees, and you can take 10% out a year penalty free. Now we're starting to talk about something that sounds pretty good, right? All right, and then the next thing they're worried about, the lack of investment opportunities for growth, because most people see minimal growth in annuities, and those have been around for a minute. You know what I'm talking about. You know, that's where we go for conservation, right? And especially when we look at where we're at in the market today. Let me share with you one little graph real quick, and I want to show y'all just history. But we run off nothing but math and the red letters in our household, in our business, right? So only 2 infinite truths that we talk about is math and the red letters. I don't push the Bible on people, all right? But I'm going to show you math. All right, this is just history and where we are, right? So if we're looking at where we went back in 96, right? We peaked out in 99, dropped 49%, 99. All right, and then in 2002 grew another 101%, pretty cyclical, right? Dropped down 57. Some got hit worse than others, right? This is just a graph of the Dow. And then we jumped all the way up and we dipped again at 24. Now we're back at 34,000. We're up. I mean, this is skyrocketed. This is a 401%. All right, so go back to the screen, baby. All right, the other one. So let me show you something else, guys. So this product, unlike any other product, has allowed us to follow the S&P 500, as we see at the bottom. Okay, so I want y'all to look at this very left graph where it says 6-year and 1 year on the S&P 500. All right, average return over 6 years is 65.5%. That's a little over 10% a year. So if somebody's looking to protect their money and have it grow with that type of protection and that short amount of time, 65% over 6 years is a heck of an average for that time period. This is from 1989 to 2019, right? Now, if you will look how many times, come on down to where it says losses between 20% and 30%. Zero losses between 20% and 30% right here, guys. Absolutely zero. You see that? All right. That is powerful, okay? Because what this product does is it allows you to follow a 6-year average or a 6-year annual to annual. Now, if I know I'm coming on a down market, which we historically have to be seeing a down market, we know what's going on in the world. Would I rather have the average of 6 years, or would I rather have an annual point to point? Okay, and that's a very easy answer, because if we're going to have an average of 6 years, it'll always be better than a point to point. Okay, so then people, they ask me, they say, well, what would have been the difference between me being in this product versus the Dow? Okay, so they say they stayed in the mutual funds. So I went and pulled the Dow's numbers. I love math. All right. So if I had $500,000, all right, if I had $500,000, all right, in 2 places, one following just the S&P as a whole, and one in the Dow as a whole. All right. And this is from 2008 to 2014. All right. This is what I would have ended up with in the Dow. All right. $620,000, $18.90. All right. I just got back over my $500,000. Now, if I'd have been in the S&P, I would have had $718,051.71. Okay. Now we can't follow the Dow as a whole, and as nobody's ever allowed us to follow the S&P as a whole. Okay. Now the S&P as a whole, that's going annual to annual. Now watch this. If I'm gonna mark out the Dow real quick, guys. All right. I'm sorry. My wife is telling me how to use the eraser. Y'all can tell how technically savvy I am. So if I did an average of the S&P instead of took annual to annual, like it allows us, then I'm gonna show you what's even more powerful. So the average of this, if I took the average of this $500,000 over the 6 years, it would have got me another it would have added 76,000. So I had $696,018.90 if I'd have had the average. So if I know I've got a down market instead of an annual to annual, when I put my clients in this product, I'm gonna put them in that annual to annual. So guys, the things that we're talking to them about, it's real simple. Just keep it really simple. All right. If you stay in the market, this is even without fees. Okay. You understand, if they stay in the market, they're still paying their brokerage fees, their market fees, their share fees. Remind them that. I'm not even taking that out of the equation. All right. This is a couple of $100,000 mistake any way you look at it. I am allowing you a 6-year period to follow the Dow, follow the S&P up to 200% growth is the cap. That's the other thing everybody hates about annuities. Well, we got a cap on annuities. We can only have so much of the profit. Here, they allow you 33% a year growth. All right, that's more than the S&P's ever averaged over a 6-year period. So you're going to get 100% of the growth over time of the S&P. Now, if this thing goes belly up and has the worst 6 years in history, all right, then we're going to have a 20% balloon on the bottom, and you're not going to lose a daggone dime. They're going to eat it for free. Now, if you can't get pumped up about that and get somebody excited about that, you don't got nothing living, brother, right? So instead of them out there losing their legacy and everything they've daggone worked for and their parents have worked for, I'm going to come in. I'm going to show them a free product. I'm going to only lock it in for 6 years, right? We're going to get through this daggum downswing. We all know it's historically coming. We're going to make money in the daggum downswing. And if they need it, we're going to give it to them without charging them like them dirtbag show that Dominic charges everybody, right? All right, we're going to give it to them for free. And then guess what happens at the end of the 6 years, guys? Lawrence is a hero. They love the relationship. They give me referrals. And who's going to reinvest the daggum money? Amen. That's where we come in. All right. I'm sorry. I took too much time. I think I'm a little bit over, guys. But look, I'm sorry. I got 5 minutes. But look, guys, if you can sit down and just break this thing down into the 6-year period and show them the difference between a down average and an up average, and show them I am here to give this to you for free. We're going to transfer dollar for dollar, no hidden fees, no nothing. There is no one in their right mind that will tell you no. Okay. We have had so much success with this thing. I have yet to sit down with somebody and not be able to break this down in 10 to 15 minutes and get a yes. Okay, guys, if you'd love some training on this, it's simply that 6 years. I've got the numbers printed out. I'm sorry, Stephanie wasn't home last night or to transfer it to PowerPoint because I can't do anything with the computer. All right, guys, we have all of our kids home. Guys, this is in this day and time, if you're not playing with this product, you need to get on board and help your clients, right? Help your downline, all right? Create some momentum because guess what? They're going to have beneficiaries. Those beneficiaries are going to be in their 40s and 30s. They need income protection, right? They need tax. They need you to look at their 401ks. This is a pipeline of a pipeline, all right? Y'all go do it and win. We'll see y'all at the top. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, man. Hey, Lawrence, Stephanie, good job for keeping him straight. But no, no, man. Hey, Lawrence, powerful information. And man, hey, look, you take what Lawrence just shared You know, and combine that with what Dominic shared and thinking about income protection, creating that instant estate while you're accumulating the cash estate. You combine those two things, your family gets both if you die, right? Don't have to borrow your own money. I mean, the products we have today, and then combine it with our technology, that man, look, hey, everybody's local. Everybody's local. I mean, I could be talking to somebody in Alabama this afternoon, right? And that's what we have to play ball with as a vehicle, as a company. You combine all that with a Primerica. I mean, I believe we are going to do what you know, Amazon's done to retail. I believe long term, I think this company is just going to keep growing, keep booming. And so what I want to talk about now, we're going to shift gears. And what I want to talk about is building, right? Is really a recruiting game plan. And, you know, I was talking to James Torrey, and one of our VPs, he just, you know, James is promoting new RVPs. He's down in Mobile, Alabama. And James and I were talking this week, and he was just asking me questions about our hierarchy and, you know, how many first, second, third generation RVPs we have and all that stuff. And so he was asking me, he said, David, what time of the length of a time span did it really take you to, I mean, to really put this thing, put the foundation in here that grew the hierarchy now to over 200 regional vice presidents? And, you know, I started thinking about that, and really, y'all, it was about a 10-year period. My first 10 years is really when the foundation was put in place. And so I wanna just kind of tell you the mindset and the game plan that I had as we did that. And I think it starts with, you know, that first few months I was in, I lucked up and I recruited 3 people, right? And I just knew they were going to be rocket scientists with the company. I knew they were going to just be amazing. And, you know, a couple months later, they went into the witness protection program, you know, didn't really do that much, but it gave me a taste of the building. And through Art's coaching about building a company within a company and all that, and I just really started paying attention. And I got my first override for $42, right? And, you know, I'm not that good with math, but I can multiply. And when that happened, when Mike Ezel called me and said, David, I closed a term out tonight. Okay, I made $42 override, right? Number one in priority is what we did for the client. Number 2 was for Mike, but then I got that little $42 override. And I remember having a thought, good Lord, I was at home, you know, and I earned $42. And I said, man, what if I would have had that happen 10 times tonight, right? And that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to get this recruiting thing going. And, you know, my coach also told me that Bill, the guy that promoted me to RVP, said, look, you know, David, ask yourself 100 times a day, am I recruiting, training, or motivating people? And if you aren't, you are wasting your time. So recruit, train, motivate. And I just decided, hey, look, I'm going to go grind it out, and I'm going to get good at that. And I'm going to let that be my thing. And I'll be dadgum if I'm going to go, you know, Art used to talk a lot about overrides. And he said, look, don't ever count on an override until you're making $10,000 a month in overrides, you know? And so I remember thinking, man, I remember when I was making $3,000 a month in overrides, $5,000, $7,000, but I always thought about, man, you know, when I get to 10,000 a month in overrides, then it's, man, look, it's, you know, then I can just go recruit, build, right, and just focus on that. And so that's what we did. And we said, look, we're going to go out there and grind it out, right? And as a matter of fact, there was one time we had this this book. I went and dug it out this morning. By the way, everything that I'm going over, I've got a couple of sheets here that I've got it in print, kind of a recruiting game plan, plus a recruiting process. But and I'll even send this too. But I put this up on the wall in my office, and it's 60 wide, 60 personal recruits in 6 months. So you go out for 6 months, and every month, because see, most people in our business, they're ones and twosies. You know, they go out there and recruit one person, 2 people, 3 people. I mean, what if Walmart had that attitude, right? What if any company that's growing had that attitude, right? I mean, then they wouldn't be where they are, okay? But man, you know, you go recruit 60 personal recruits in 6 months, right? Then folks, you can't help but get good. You can't help but find somebody that wants it as bad as you. And so, anyway, I did things like that. Now, so let me, real quick, okay? Let me make sure I've got my clock here, because I don't want to go over, okay? You got to listen fast, okay? But as far as recruiting game plan, okay, let me just give you some bullet points real quick, okay? Okay, you'll be paid in 6 months for what you do today. So you got to get a long-term view. Say, look, I'm just every month I'm just making deposits into an account that I can literally go cash in 6 months. Next thing, to be successful, you got to be willing to do what average and ordinary people aren't willing to do. Hey, most people, it's just another Saturday, right? And most people are just going with the flow. They're just floating downstream, just trying to get through another day. I mean, you've got to be willing to do what most people aren't willing to do. But the more you do something, the easier it gets. So repetition is the key. Emotion controls emotion. The only thing you can control is activity and attitude, right? So look, you control your attitude. You can't control who buys, who comes to work, but you can control how many people you talk to. Okay, and then that controls your attitude, because emotion controls emotion. Okay, you attract who you are, not what you want, right? And you got to understand the law of averages. You aren't going to recruit everybody. Nobody does. Art Williams didn't. I didn't, right? Even the best builders in our company don't recruit more than 50% of the people that they talk to. But listen to this, when you combine the law of averages with the law of large numbers, that's when the magic happens. Anytime you do a lot of activity and you just focus on that, right? This isn't just a normal Saturday for you, it's an event in your life. Most people riding up and down this parkway will not even really remember today, right? A year from now. But you know what? When you decide that things are gonna be different, when you decide that, right? Then you'll look back on this morning or today, right, as a big event in your life. And that's when things change. And folks, I'm not just trying to hype it up, right? I'm just telling you, I can't tell you how many defining moments I've had, but it's been a bunch of them. And you know what? I still can remember it, and I still get goosebumps, right, when I think about them. So important. Okay, listen to this. As long as you have people to talk to, you can stay in business, right? You got to really take that serious. There's 3 groups you want to talk to. Okay, people you know, people they know, and people you want to know. That's the 3 groups. That's the only people you want to talk to. those three groups. Okay. Number one priority is to schedule activity, right? Schedule activity. That's number one. What kind of activity? If you could do 2 recruiting interviews a day, right? Schedule 2 a day, recruiting interviews, then good things are going to happen. And then reward and punish weekly. If you don't do it, if you miss a week or a couple of days of doing it, then you punish yourself and make yourself work the weekend, and you got to make it up next week. Okay. Let me tell you something, guys. You got to be your own toughest boss. I'm going to close with that. But look, either you're going to put yourself through hell or life will. Take a choice. Either way, you're going through hell, right? And but the good thing is, with this, you know, it looks like it leads to death, but man, it is so much fun, right? Because you end up enjoying the journey. Why? Because you're accomplishing your goals and dreams for your family, right? So reward and punish. If you hit your goal, then reward yourself, but don't rationalize it. Some people rationalize it like they think, oh, they go on an appointment and they say, oh, well, this guy's going to buy. Man, this guy's coming to work. Hell no, they're not. Right? Right? I mean, don't count, you know, your chickens before they hatch. And then, so look at it realistically, reward and punish. But when you hit it, then take your spouse to New Orleans or a nice dinner, have a date night, do something with the kids, you know, that's out of the ordinary. Okay? Set goals and think about them every day. Think about what it's going to be like in 30, 60 days. I mean, what if you did this? What's it going to be? What's it going to be like? What's it going to be like in 6 months, right? Be getting close to the holidays, being into the holidays, right? What do you think your life's going to look like, right? Okay. You think it's going to be different? You know, I would put money on it that it will be. So set goals. Think about them every day, how great it's going to be. Then the other thing, follow up. Stay in touch with people, right? Timing is important. Hey, if they aren't ready right today, stay in touch with them. 30 days, the timing may get right. You know, once they get on your list, people you know, people they know, and people you want to know, then it's till death do you part, right? And then you just follow up. People respect professionalism, and they respect consistency. And that you say, look, I'd like to just stay in touch with you if that's okay. And then I've never had anybody say, no, don't contact me again. I've never had it. In all my decades here, I've never seen that happen. Okay? Spread good news. You know, just make sure you've got good news to people that work with you, people that you interview. Say, well, look, Joe, man, I'd love to have you. We've got great things happening. Let me just tell you about Susie, what Susie just did. Or here's what's happened last week. Spread good news. Servant leadership, right? Servant leadership. You love and care about people. Be genuine and authentic. Use every success as a stepping stone, right? You know, to take your business to the next level. And then the other thing, one of the things that Art taught us was recruit by day and field train by night. So really, the thing that I focused on more than anything was breakfast appointments, mid-morning appointments, lunch appointments, afternoon appointments. Recruit during the daytime. And then when I recruit somebody, then we go see their brother at that afternoon. Of course, now people are more flexible in their work schedule, right? So we can, even do appointments during the daytime, field training, all that, okay? Remember the totem pole theory. You know, when I first started trying to really recruit, my RVP, I wasn't having a lot of success, and my RVP told me about the totem pole theory. And what he said was, David, he said, listen, he said, what you're doing, here you are, here at the bottom, right? He said, here I am up top. Now that didn't make me feel that good. He said, what you're trying to do is you're going out here and you're talking to Joe and you don't know nothing, right? He said, what you've got to learn to do is give Joe enough information to get him down up in front of me up here, and then you watch me do it. And then as you do that, you start just be a great inviter, okay? Then you're gonna start moving up through the company, and next thing you know, your people will be bringing people to you, right? And when I bought into that, right, that's when the magic started happening. And then 4 months later, I was doing my own overviews, right? And so anyway, so that's a key. Also, recruiting is a sales process, okay? You know, one of the things that Art told us, he said a recruiting interview lasts 8 to 10 hours. 8 to 10 hours, a recruiting interview. Now, some people try to do it all at one time. But what he was talking about, you schedule an appointment, you do an interview, which we're going to talk about real quick. Then you invite them to an overview with your trainer or RVP or whoever, and you know, the totem pole thing. And then after that, you have a follow-up interview with them to get them started. You do an IBA, you know, talk to them about getting started. Then have a little field activity. Let me tell you, until a person sees, you know, get them to take a baby step. Until they see a couple of appointments, you know, in their market. What I always told people, I said, listen, Joe, what we need to do, I mean, you know, we're getting you through the You Can Pass and all that stuff. We've got your IBA in. We've downloaded the Primerica app, all that stuff, okay? I want you to watch these videos, you know, da-da-da-da. And, but listen, let's take, I want to put this business to a reality test. Okay. What I'd like to do is maybe take 2, maybe maximum 3 people, right? And that you know and you respect, right? Your mama, your daddy, your brother, your best buddy, whatever. And then I want to have you put me in front of them and let me do about a 30-minute overview of who we are, what we do, and all that stuff. Now, they may have questions and it may take longer, okay? But let's do that, okay? And then let's sit down with them after that. After we sit down with them, then I want to sit down with you. Let's have a cup of coffee and let's reevaluate the whole process. And so I just focus on getting people to take that baby step. Folks, let me tell you, that is part of the 8 to 10 hour interview process. Until somebody has seen that, hell, they aren't in Primerica. They don't know what the heck they don't know what it's all about until they see that. So that's part of the recruiting process. And then get a promotion for them. Let's get them to district leader. That's part of the 10 hours, right? And then attendance to weekly Saturday morning or big events and all that, Zoom, etc. And then the last thing is build relationships. So those things, that's the recruiting process. Until we do those things with somebody, they aren't in, right? And that's you gotta be set on that system. Now, what I'm gonna do, okay, I'm good on time. Okay, then there's the recruiting interview itself. Okay, and you're going to have this in writing. I'm not going to take the time. I'm just going to throw out a couple of key points on the interview. Okay, so first thing you do is you get a name from somebody, right? Or let's say you go to someone you know, or someone they know, or whatever. Okay, let's say you go to one of your clients, and then you do what we call a STEAM approach, and I'll spend more time on that here, hopefully in just a second. But then step two is to, let's say you get, let's say Joe sends you to his friend Sam, right? Okay. And then you call up Sam, hey, Sam, I don't believe you know me, but you know Joe. I was talking to Joe yesterday, and he just had a lot of good things to say. He said, y'all are good buddies and had a lot of good things to say about you. I'm expanding my business, okay? I know you live in Richland, and our company, we're looking for leadership. We're looking to open new locations, right? I'm gonna be down in Richland next week, okay? And then I'd like to just sit down, have a cup of coffee. We're in the money business, okay? I can tell you more about them, but I'll sit down and have a cup of coffee. Nothing may come from this, but you never can tell, right? So then I do that, okay? Then when I get with Sam, okay, down in Richland, at McDonald's, a favorite restaurant, whatever, or we can do it on Zoom, doesn't matter. Then the first thing I do, okay, is I get to know them and I, form them. Hey, where are you from? Family. What are you, occupation? How long you been doing it? Right? Okay. Recreation, a lot of times I leave that alone, then get to my message. So I spend time getting to know them, right? And then the other thing is I ask questions and I listen. Things like, what have you done since high school? What do you like most and least about what you're doing now? Man, that is so important. What do you like most and least? And listen, right? Okay. When's your next promotion? Have you ever wanted to own your own business? Have your own business? From a financial standpoint, what's your biggest priority? Why that one? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is that to you? So the biggest part of the interview is getting to know them, right? And asking questions and listening. But then next thing you do is you briefly cover your story and your background, right? And what you're doing there is, folks, let me tell you something. You can find something in common with everybody, right? If the things they like or don't like or whatever, if you feel the same way, then say, look, hey, I want to tell you a little bit about my background. Like you, I was born and raised out in the country. Again, common ground, just like you, I always wanted my own business. And I saw this business. So I'm building that common ground and relationship. And I'm focusing on basically how they answered the questions, right? And here's real key, folks. Then you make this statement, okay? And this is what I call my withdrawal statement, okay? The withdrawal statement is, okay, look, Sam, man, thank you for sitting down. Man, I've enjoyed getting to know you. I know we've been talking 15 minutes or so. What I'm going to do, I'm going to briefly cover with you kind of who we are, what we do, and how we're growing and all that stuff. And then I'm going to give you some info after we get through here. It's not going to be long. And then maybe we can get back together later and talk more if it gets to that point, right? Folks, let me tell you, that is so key. That is so key. When I learned how to do that with people, all of a sudden, because they're not knowing, hell, whether you're going to talk to them an hour or throw the whole kitchen sink at them, right? That's a withdrawal statement. And you're letting them know, look, I don't want a decision from you now, and you're not going to get one from me now, right? I'm just going to give you a quick overview. Then I'm going to get you some information, and you can send them a video after the interview or whatever. I mean, a brochure, whatever. Read this. And then maybe we can get back together later and talk more. How does that sound? You know what? 100% of everybody that I've ever said that to, 100% have said, man, that sounds great, right? And all of a sudden, man, the pressure's off you, the pressure's off them, okay? And so anyway, So after I do the best I can do, whether it's 10 minutes, depending on the setting, or we sit there and watch a video together, whatever, okay? When I do the best I can do, okay, then I'll say, then all of a sudden I kind of get like I'm thinking about something, right? Which I am. I'm thinking about when can I get back with Sam again? And I say, hey, Sam, let me ask you a question. What do you have going next week? Right. Like maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday. What does your week look like next week, Sam? Well, yeah, I got some time, maybe Wednesday. What I'd like to do is let's get back together and talk some more, right? Let's get back together and talk some more, and we'll just take it from there. In the meantime, I'm going to email you a little video that our company produced that we're pilot program right now. I'll email it to you. That'll go in more detail. How does that sound? You know what 100% of everybody says? That sounds great. I've never had anybody say no to that, right? Especially in today's environment. Hey, I just want to email you a little video. And it's a 6-minute one, 10-minute one, 15-minute, whatever you want to send. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. What happens is we're trying to teach pigs to sing. We're trying to go out there and we talk to the ones and twosies, right? And then we try to build an empire out of that, which is totally makes me want to like pick up a chair and throw it, right? Because I'm thinking, my God, do people not think, I mean, even in the Bible, it's a numbers deal, right? The seed sower, only 1 out of 4 seeds hit fertile ground, okay? And all of a sudden, hell, we got people that are ready to go to counseling if 2 people tell them no. Man, that's a person that would never want to be an entrepreneur. Please, if you're that person, keep your job. Do not do this. Maybe do this part-time where you're not depending on having to really make a commitment or having to really make some income, okay? Because until you change that mindset, then it's not going to happen, okay? So anyway, and then you just get back with them again. And folks, it's a recruiting process. What I do is when I get back with Joe the next time, I maybe get him with my RVP and let my RVP talk about how to get started. Or we maybe get back together and answer their questions. And I can go into that on another time, a follow-up interview, okay? But then after that, then I'll say, okay, if they're not ready if Sam's not ready next Tuesday when we meet, then I'll say, okay, Sam, I'll tell you what, I'd like for you to see what our training's like. What do you have going Saturday morning, 10 a.m.? I'd like for you just to be a fly on the wall, even on Zoom, or you can come down, sit in the office, right? And just see what our training's like, see how it comes across. And folks, what I do is just recruit to the next event until they get to the point to where they're telling me, okay, David, what do we got to do? So whether that's 2 times, 3 times, 5 times getting together, what am I doing every time we get together? I'm putting the mortar between the bricks. I'm getting to know them and we're building a relationship, right? And I've got a servant's heart about it and I'm genuine about it. And then that's when the magic's going to happen, okay? And man, look, at some point, I'm going to get them inactive rep or something. I'm going to try to get everybody on my team, okay? I'd love to have 100 people doing a little, because I know that if I get 100 people doing a little, I'll have a few people do a bunch, right? So anyway, and I've got this word for word, what you say, so I will email that out to everybody next week. Now, okay, let me close. I got a few quotes, okay? I read this morning, really all of these this morning. you got to be willing to lose everything. Okay, you got to be willing to lose everything to gain anything, right? And you know, folks, one of the things that I used to think about during this 10-year period, you got to really, it's almost like what I used to do was picture myself that I was standing on a cliff, okay? And I couldn't, it was so high up, I couldn't see what was at the bottom, right? But I was standing on a cliff, and I would picture this all the time. I was standing on a cliff and not knowing what was below me. And what I would do is just, I would throw myself off the cliff. I was throwing myself, you know, spiritually to the Lord. And just letting the Lord know that, Lord, I am jumping off this cliff, and I am leaping toward you. And whatever's down there, if I make it, it's you, right? Okay? I'm not depending on me. I'm throwing my life at you, Lord, right? And folks, you know what? That gives you a confidence that you can do anything. Mark Cuban said, I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't fail a lot. Okay? He said, good or bad, all a part of success, all are a part of the success equation. Okay? So everybody's going to fail. Here's another one. Okay? Fear of regret more than failure. Right? Man, hey, if you want to be afraid of something, try being afraid of regret. Okay? So you're either going to fear regret, right? Okay? You're going to fear regret more than failure. Okay? Success doesn't come to you, you go to it, right? Success doesn't come to you, you go to it. Here's another one. Persistence is a learned trait. Folks, people say, man, it's just hard to keep going. Well, hell, I mean, you have to learn how to persevere. It's a learned trait. You weren't born like that, right? It's a learned trait. Courage is doing what you're afraid to do, right? If you're afraid, that's the reason you need courage, right? Because every piece of flesh walking around is afraid. Every piece of flesh has fear. But the people that do it, okay, they feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what set me free. I thought I was just a scaredy cat. And when Art Williams told me that he was afraid, right? But he just did it anyway. That's when I thought, wow, man, hell, I'm afraid. What if I just do what Art did? What if I just started doing it anyway? And just the phone's shaking, right? Trying to schedule an appointment. Then all of a sudden, man, you start getting those breakthroughs and life changes. Dale Carnegie, listen to this. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. Okay, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Right? Dale Carnegie. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and think about it. Right? Go out and get busy. Listen to this. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Listen to this. Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard. Never excuse yourself. Never pity yourself. Be a hard master to yourself and be lenient to everyone else. That's what I was saying. Hell, I mean, you got to be your own toughest boss. Let me tell you, I put myself at times through hell, right? But you know what? You know what I thought about? I said, man, you know what? If I'm going to have a boss, I'd rather it be me. If I've got to be tough on me, then so be it, because I kind of like me, right? And it's, that's biblical. The Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. It's okay to love yourself. You better take care of yourself, right? From that standpoint, be willing. Don't give in to self-pity. You need to be the toughest master for you, and go do it, right? Okay, I'm wrapping up. Okay, let's say, I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. Stephen Covey said that. I'm not a product of my circumstances. Most people are a product of their circumstances, right? He said, I'm a product of my decisions, which is true. So anyway, hey guys, I think that, yeah, we're right on time. One of the things I wanted to say, and I thought Lawrence and Dominic did such a good job, but yesterday I was with a friend of mine, and this has been going on a while and all stuff. He's a dermatologist, friend of mine. He's, 55 years old, the end of this month. He's a doctor, and he asked me about some financial questions. He was taking something off of me, and come to find out, he had $1 million life insurance policy that he's paying $50,000 a year on, and on this policy. And so he's had it 5 years. So he's put about $250,000 in. He's got about $100,000 in cash in there. It was ridiculous. But anyway, there's a company here in Jackson, and that went and sold him it's an indexed universal life policy. Okay, and they sell. See, one of the things that doctors hate doing, they get out of medical school and they can't stand paying taxes. So these companies that prey on the doctors, right, and say, listen, if you'll pay this high premium of $50K per year, right, you can write all that off. We can set up all these different corporations, and it's a scam. And so anyway, so listen. So I've got one of the top tax attorneys in the state of Mississippi. He's done my trust and all that. So what I did, me and Jim Hass talked to the dermatologist, and so, but I took him down to my tax attorney, right? And then I let my tax attorney explain to him, and basically my tax attorney gave him the presentation that was given to him, the doctor, right? And how they sell this stuff. And so these companies are out there, they're preying on professionals like doctors or whatever. And he also has another $1 million term policy. He's paying $3,500 a year on, but in 10 more years, it goes to $2,500 a month. So that goes to $30,000 a year, right? So what Hass and I are doing, we're going to roll over the investment. My tax attorney is going to unwind all this stuff. It's going to take him several thousand to unwind what they did, right? We're buying a $2 million term policy, 25-year term for a 55-year-old, right? Okay. And so you'll have a $2 million in term, take all the money, 1035 exchange, like Dominic talked about, roll it over. Okay. And man, he and his wife, we talked to him yesterday, they're just relieved because they hadn't even felt good about all this stuff. And I say all that to say, folks, you know what, man, we do what's right. We do what's right. And you know what, he's going to do a bunch more with us because, like he said, David, really what y'all are doing, you're uncomplicating my life. He's going to know exactly what he's paying on term, right? Exactly what he's putting in an investment. You get both if you die. You don't have to borrow your own cash. Folks, the need for what we do is so amazing. And I'm just so proud to be in this company. And, you know, hey, we're looking for leadership, man. We need to open more offices, right? Maybe next week I can talk about a game plan to expand in different cities, right? Matter of fact, if I were really, I probably ought to do it. Hell, I'm 65. But anyway, just say that, you know, I've got a little strategy that, you know, you could take someone, make a list of 10 cities, say an hour radius of where you are right now, right? So let's just say when I'm Miss Flora, okay? Flora's growing fast and all that. And so let's say I go to friend of mine, Trip. Say, Trip, hey man, listen, I've got these 10 cities. I'm really focused on growing the rest of this year. And I've got these 10 cities that I'm going to focus on, but I'm only doing it through relationships. Okay. So I've got the list of cities here. Okay. I want you to look at the list. Now I know these people may not be interested. So there's a reason I say that. I don't want Trip sitting there thinking of who's interested in Florida, right? I just want people who know people, because I only build through relationships. That's another little one-liner that you need to memorize. I only build through relationships, okay? Because that way you know who you're getting. So the thing about, again, I know the people you know would be interested, but who do you know? Do you know anybody in Florida, in the area of Florida, right, or whatever? So let's say another one is Richland or whatever. So come up with Clinton, okay? And then he said, well, you know, Matt, I know old Joe over in Clinton. So then I call up, so all I need is what? Joe's name and cell phone, right? So I call up Joe. He's in the auto business, let's say, auto care business. And so I call up Joe. I say, hey, Joe, man, David Landrum, I don't believe we have met, but you've got a mutual friend, Trip, right? I was talking to Trip last week, right? And I know you're in the Clinton area, and I'm growing my business, okay? I have my own company where I'm in the money business, but I'm looking to open an office. I'm looking for someone to spearhead an expansion in Clinton, okay? And I'm going to be over in Clinton next week, and I would like to maybe just sit down with you. Trip had a lot of good things to say about you. You may not be interested. You might know someone who may be, right? I'd like to just meet you personally, sit down with you, have a cup of coffee, let you know a little bit about, you know, the type of person that I'm looking for, okay? And then we take it there. How does that sound? Do you know how many people will give me an appointment? Like 100%. 100% of everybody will give me an appointment, because the people like the idea of spearheading an expansion and them having their own little expansion, their own company in Clinton. And then you know what? When let's say Joe, if Joe comes in, gets started, right now he's 20 minutes away. And when Joe gets to about 10 apps a month, 10, 15 clients a month, then I'll open, if he, you know, when he comes full time, I will open and pay for the office over there, right? But what if I did that in 10 cities, of hour radius of where I'm at? What do you think? You know, let's just say they do five apps a month each. So that's 50 clients a month doing business with us, right? And then, so what are you you're going to be a big RVP, right? You're going to be a big RVP. That's going to be 200, 300,000 a year in income, right? I mean, if I were coming in Primerica today, that's what I would do, right? I'd rather have 10 little independent locations going with an hour radius of me, because it's close enough for them to come in, right? They're going to know everybody in town. right? If they're the right person, they're going to have credibility. And man, wow, to me, that would be a great game plan. And so anyway, hey, listen, we're going to close May a week from Tuesday, okay? Now, let me say this, okay? If May is just another month, okay? If it's just another month to you, where it's not a big deal, then you understand that is not a good sign for an entrepreneur, right? Because that is an entrepreneur who's on the way out of business. If your business isn't growing, you are dying, right? You are on your way out, right? It's just a matter of time before you're gone. Okay, so you're what we would call a wandering generality. I think Zig Ziglar used to have that term in one of his books. Just a wandering generality. Just another month. Just another Saturday. What am I doing? We're going to the movie. We're going to do this. Going to do that. My kid's got a soccer game, whatever. Right? Okay. And so anyway, but that's all I'll say about that. We're going to have a base shop event for our base shop on June 12th. We're going to do a reception at our home on Friday night. That's just for our base shop, but we're going to have a reception Friday night at our home, and then we're going 9 to 1 on Saturday. But the message there is we're going back to in-person meetings, okay? And Mike Landrum and I met this week, and we're going to start scheduling, events, and, got mixed emotions about that right now as far as how big do we want to have them and all that. But anyway, we're trying to assess that and figure that out. But bottom line is the next 90 days, we're back to wide open. I don't ever want to go back to where we were. Okay. To me, we're going to keep using the technology. That's not going to change. But we're going to do that in addition to some relationship things, okay, and events. That's going to be part of it. So, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today. We're going to email this. I think we got this recorded. We'll email this out next week to all the RVPs and our base shop. And then anything we can do to help anybody, let us know. Would really be great, man. So, you got those promotion guidelines to know exactly what you got to do to become an RVP. It would be great if you really focused on that next promotion and really took it serious and maybe sat down even with a family, have an emergency meeting and say, listen, I know it hasn't happened or whatever. I know I'm brand new, whatever, but I'm getting ready to kick some butt and things are going to be different this Christmas for our family, okay, than this last 5 years or last 6 months, whatever. And you're gonna see a different dude or a different gal, right? Because we're gonna get serious. There are other people in this company that have done it, and I know I can do it because I know what I have to do. I've got it in writing, okay? Exactly what I have to do, okay? I've got people willing to coach me, and the only question is, am I willing to put my hand to the plow and ask the Lord to really bless my effort? Not bless me, heck with that, right? Bless my effort. Put my hand to the plow and ask the Lord to bless my effort. Because I'm gonna do what it talks about in the Bible, the sweat of the brow, right? I'm gonna go sweat. And I'm gonna do it for our family. And great things are gonna happen. Man, that's what your family needs to hear, right? That's what they need to see. That's probably what they've even been praying about, right? That you would get to that point in your life where things are going to be different and you're going to change. So y'all have a great weekend. Appreciate you. Let's roll.